Hello, we are back after my rather extended summer holiday that was only meant to be 2 weeks.
Yeah,
that
can we
went into
just
3 weeks.
say that it's not me being on holiday this time, as you can tell from the red face and slightly red nose?
It was me. I've been venturing around the Canary Islands for 2 weeks, and I'm now the brownest man in the whole of podcasting.
Did you get
Because it's
mugged
your
by
week.
an F1 merchandising salesman, by the way?
No, I've always owned this. This is not mine. I've borrowed it because nobody needs to see my hair, having not been in the country, not been to a barber in nearly a month.
It's not like nailing your colours to the flag. Are you a Mercedes fan or a McLaren fan? What's going on here?
And also, if you look here, this was no good for audio listeners, but there is an Aston Martin cap in the background. So we're representing all of the F1 teams.
That'll be a brilliant cap this week and absolutely useless next week.
We're being inclusive to all teams. We're being very, nice and friendly to everybody. And yes, Aston Martin is now one of the greatest teams on the grid for a week.
Is it? Yeah. Has it had an influence on them this week? That geezer that signed from?
Even Lance Stroll's good this week, so I'm very confused. I feel like while I've been on holiday, things have happened in the world that don't. England won a penalty shootout. Arsenal signed a striker. Lance Stroll is now good at Formula One.
Man United won 2 games.
Am I not in the real world anymore? Is this some strange universe that I'm now inhabiting?
Parallel universe that we're on.
Yeah, Arsenal signed a striker because that's a thing, apparently, that is doable in the footballing world.
I mean, fair dues to them. They've finally done it, haven't they?
And they look like they've made some really good signings this summer.
They've made a lot of signings, which is very, I would say, not Arsenal normally, is it? You don't normally have Arsenal going on. Although between them and Liverpool, have they bought every player in Europe?
Yeah, they basically gone down the Chelsea model.
Yeah, but I'm not sure that neither of them had the money to go down that model. I'm a bit confused as to where the funds have come from.
Liverpool won the Premier League. They've sold Diaz, so they've got a lot of money. And they already
Liverpool didn't spend any last summer, did they?
No, they already had quite a lot of leeway in PSR. Plus, as they're selling Diaz and winning the Premier League has given them a lot of spare cash to use, and they've not actually spent that much when you look at outgoings to ingoings. So they're unlike Manchester United, who are flat broke. Liverpool actually have money, which is helpful.
We've spent a lot of money over the last few years. I will admit that.
I mean, you spent quite a lot of money this year that you don't have.
Yeah.
So well done.
I mean, we're spending more by the sounds of it.
Well, you're in for this. Can't think of his name. The guy that Newcastle also won.
I mean, it's Sesko if you're English, like Tesco's with a S, but it's Seshko, I think.
So we are very northern English people, so we'll call him Sesko. I'll probably end up calling him Tesco at some point.
I mean, it's Cunha to me. I mean, say it as you see it. It's Cunha. Cunha.
There'll be a lot of ha when he plays at Manchester United.
Yeah. Oh, we won 4-0
against
Bournemouth
in a friendly. Well done. Congratulations.
It's the first time we've won 4-0 in about 19,000 years. Absolutely battered him. And Mbeumo didn't play. Cunha didn't play. Fucking unbelievable.
So the old team actually managed to do something good.
Yeah, minus Marcus Rashford, Garnacho, Sancho, Malacia, and the one with 4 right feet, Anthony.
While I was away, speaking of Rashford, he got his wish. He decided he wanted to play at Barcelona and will for a year.
Yeah, so he's kind of like Lance Stroll, isn't he? Absolutely shit, but he's still technically at the pinnacle of his sport. I just don't understand how.
Does Marcus Rashford have a rich dad? Because that's what's got Lance Stroll to where he is.
I don't think he does. I don't understand the Barcelona taking Rashford. I said before, I hope it works out because I want him to be good for England next summer, but it won't. It just won't. He won't play. He won't play as many games as he wants to play. He will just be, he won't be anything to them. He won't be any use to them at all.
But he might go and feed a lot of Spanish children.
Well, yeah. You got to do something good in life, haven't you? But it won't be football. Just like Sancho. Anthony will go and do better for himself somewhere else because he's not a particularly bad person. He's just a shit footballer. Yeah, Sancho's an absolute moron. If anyone buys him, you might as well just set fire to your transfer targets. And I just don't see Rashford doing anything. I don't see him. He'll do his usual trick. He'll turn up for the first half a dozen games, and then first time he's not in the team, which he won't be in the team because he's not as good as the other players they've got, he'll just do what he normally does and go on holiday.
Which is what I'm also very good at, and I should probably do it again.
Well, I'm due one, so it's me next.
You live on holiday permanently, so you don't get holidays anymore.
So where were we last time you were here before you went on the longest holiday never known to man? What happened? British Grand Prix?
Yes, potentially.
What was after the British Grand Prix?
We had a week off, and then we went 2 weeks off, and then we went to Belgium. Sounds about right.
It rained a lot all the time.
Well, it rained a little bit, and the FIA got very scared about the little bit of rain and told everybody to sit around for 2 hours and do nothing. The little bit of rain was a bit of a problem.
Yeah, I mean, you've been through this before, but just for the amusement, just to amuse me, can you just explain to me why we have a set of wet tyres?
Because they like the colour blue, and they have a blue paint on them.
Obviously, we're being sustainable. I saw the other day that they take 1,600 tyres to a Grand Prix weekend.
Yes, quite a lot of them are the blue ones.
I'm guessing they take, 3 sets of wets per car? Maybe 2?
2, I think it is.
So we could leave behind 40 tyres. No, more, because there's 4 per car, isn't there?
There is. There tends to be on a car, yeah.
So we could leave behind 160 tyres that we technically will never, ever use.
Yes. Because we're now that risk-averse in Formula 1 that if it's slightly hazy because of some water...
Legitimately, because my answer to this was a lot of swearing, can you explain to me why we don't use them?
Yes, I can legitimately explain, and there is a very, very good reason.
I don't understand this at all. And I had an argument with a guy on Twitter the other day who basically said it was something to do with particles of water in the air. And I got that bored. I was like, if this is the real reason, I never want to watch Formula 1 again, mate. So I deleted him. So is there an actual reason people can understand that we've got no brain?
Unfortunately, yes, he's the man on Twitter is right. So the intermediate tyre will move, I think it's about 35 litres of water a second, which goes up into the air, creates spray. The wet tyres will move 88 litres, I think it is, of water per second. So it all goes up into the air, and in Spa, because there's all the trees, it just lingers. So the wet tyres last weekend would have actually made the situation worse.
During racing conditions.
During the last week, the problem wasn't standing water. It wasn't aquaplaning. We didn't have rivers. We had bad visibility. The wet tyres would have made visibility worse than what it already was.
Right.
So it wouldn't have worked. Because we've gone to this ground effect era, all the air goes under the car, pushes back up. You get the spray is worse due to the cars that they've made. The racing is worse due to the cars that they've made. The cars are too heavy. The cars are too big. Do you see where I'm going with this? There's a running theme. The cars are not very good.
So while we were all sat for 2 hours, bored out of his mind, some of us very tired because it was Sunday night, considerably late on a Sunday night. Would we have not been better having some cars going out around behind the safety car with full wets on, dispersing the water if it moves 80 litres a millisecond? Or whatever.
What would have been the better option is, knowing how wet it was, we should have started behind the safety car, mandated the full wet tyre, and we should have gone round maybe behind the safety car for 4 or 5 laps. That would have cleared a lot of water.
This was my thinking.
Then if we make the decision that this isn't clearing quick enough, or the second band of rain which did comes, and makes it worse, fine. Say, stop, this is too dangerous. But at least we've tried. What we actually did...
used the tyre that we've carried across the world.
We did a formation lap behind the safety car and then went, probably not great, this is it, let's not. And then waited 90 minutes till the sun came out and the track was quite dry, and then went, right, we'll go now. So all the people that set up the car for the rain, which did come, didn't get to use that car for more than 20 minutes because it was then dry. So Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen, who'd made the right call, they predicted the weather because they'd seen the weather forecast because they have eyes. Set the car up, couldn't use it
And
because the
they've been to
FIA are
Spa before,
morons.
because it rains every time we go there.
Yeah. So what we should have, that race, I get the suspension and I get not starting it, although I would have tried a few laps. I get why we stopped because people couldn't see. It would have been dangerous. But we waited 90 minutes when we could have done it in probably 50 at the worst. The sun had come out. There was people sat in the grandstands in the sun. 20 minutes later, the medical car comes out. And then, for reasons I can't explain, we normally get a 10-minute warning for the start. We got 15. So we waited another 5 minutes for no apparent reason. So we wasted at least 35 minutes for no apparent reason.
And everyone thought the race had started, and it actually hadn't, because the lap behind the safety car wasn't the start of the race or something. So the 2-hour window hadn't begun or something.
So the 2-hour window, the 2-hour clock stops at any point that you stop the race. So if we get a red flag, the 2-hour clock, which the race must be running, stops. But the 3-hour window, once you've done the first racing lap, continues permanently. So you've got 3 hours to do a 2-hour race.
So that lap behind the safety car wasn't the 3-hour lap, was it?
No, because we hadn't started the race. Lights must have gone out to start the race.
I was confused, but even the guys owning the teams were confused because the guy from Red Bull came on. Or was it?
Yeah, it was.
One of the guys came on.
Yeah.
And he said that we had started it, and then the other guy said we hadn't. And I'm like, well, probably needed a bit of clarity here.
In fact, it was Ayo Komatsu, wasn't it? It was the Haas team principal that said the clock started.
Yeah.
But then they got out the rule book, which is 4 billion pages long, and actually went, no, we don't. We haven't started the clock because we didn't do anything.
What? F1 have a rule book?
Yeah, they just don't know where it is or what it's for. I think
they knew where it were in 20. Oh, no, they didn't know where it were in 2021, did they? Because they just made up the rules as they went along.
Yeah, I think it's used quite often as a doorstop or a coaster for the beers and the cups of tea and things of that nature. It's never actually used for anything that's important to anybody. And so then we came to the race that eventually did start many, many hours after it should have finished. I mean, I was on a boat getting worried I was about to run out of internet signal because I was getting away from land by this point. It had been that long.
I was on a different day to when the race started, I think, which was quite an achievement.
And the long and short of it is Lando Norris bottled it again.
He was consistent in his ability to be inconsistent that weekend, wasn't he? I mean, right from the first corner, you just thought, and it probably got past him anyway without the poor exit off the corner, but it's not the point, is it? It's just, and every time he looked like he was getting back into it, and somebody else said it, was it Martin Brundle said it, that like Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel chasing that lead down would not have made those mistakes. You know, Michael Schumacher, they just wouldn't have made them mistakes, and there'd have been. I mean, does he win it if he doesn't make the mistakes? I think he does, doesn't he?
I think it's impossible to say, but you've got to think at least if you've got to in the race that you put yourself in the position to. He might have struggled to pass him. Obviously it's the same car. The DRS might not have been powerful enough. But if you got yourself in the position, you can walk away from that event going, I did everything I could. It got me on
a bit like Lewis did the year before behind George, didn't he? He got there and he just couldn't
everything
get past
he could,
him,
and he just couldn't pass him.
Finished a millisecond behind him.
But Lando walks away from that race, got to be thinking, well, I've not done everything I could to win because I've made at least 3 errors that have cost me at least 4 seconds, and I only lost by 5.
Yeah.
So to me, he would have got into DRS. Now, I won't sit here and say he would have won because I don't think it would have been enough. I think Oscar had got enough tyres left in it because the last 2 laps he did 2 personal bests. So I think he'd got enough left to hold him off.
But again, we're talking hypothetically, he'd have pushed him further in the race, wouldn't he? Made him drive faster when he got behind him to try and hold off the DRS. So yeah, you can't say, but he made a hash of it, didn't he? He made a real hash.
You can only walk away from each race weekend thinking, have I done everything I can do? And Lando's got to walk away from Spa saying, well, no, I didn't, because I made numerous errors that have put himself in a position where he can't do anything. And it was just pretty poor. If I'm completely honest, he didn't deserve to win it. Oscar drove flawlessly and got everything out of it that he deserved. Which
has been the kind of the bit of the theme of the season, really, hasn't it? Lando seems to be faster at certain tracks, and the tracks that he's not faster, he just doesn't seem to be slower. He just seems to start making mistakes, as if the pressure ramps up a little bit, and then he can't handle it, and he drops back, and he'll drop. He loses to him at Spa, and he might lose to him this weekend, and then he gets that gap of 15, 16 points again, and he comes back, and then the pressure gets real again, and we drop off again. And whereas Oscar seems to just be on a level playing field, doesn't he? I mean, I've never known a guy win a race and his heart rate didn't even go up. I don't think, did it? It's just.
I think Lando's problem is every time the pressure ramps up, he overdrives the car, which is where then the mistakes come in. He pushes too hard, too much, too often, and we're not finding the limits of grip. We're finding beyond the limits of grip, and we're losing traction. We're half spinning. We're going off the road. We're not, not doing what's required because he's trying to do too much.
Yeah, which, as people say, in them conditions, it can happen, but it doesn't happen to the best of the best in them conditions, does it?
No, because the best of the best in those conditions, right? Look at Max Verstappen in Brazil last year. Look at Lewis Hamilton in various wet weather races over the past 20 years. Silverstone 2008, if we go back that far, he won that by nearly a minute, I think, in the end, when other people were spending more time going around in circles.
Yeah.
Turkey 2020, Valtteri Bottas spun 6 times, I think. Hamilton kept it on the road, passed everybody, went on to win the race and won the championship that day. So there's certain things you've got to be able to do if you're going to be a world champion, which right now Lando Norris cannot do.
No, he can't. No, and it's a shame. But and like we've said before, pending what happens with the cars next season, this could be his only shot.
Yes, there's every possibility that this is the one.
Very dramatic, but if Aston Martin come out next season with a rocket of a car and Mercedes' engine is as good as they're saying it is, McLaren could be third best at best.
Yeah, there's every possibility. Every possibility.
There's every possibility. They are the best, and he could go on and win 4 or 5 championships. But I mean, like I said, he's not a kid anymore. He's not a new starter to the sport anymore, is he? These are the sort of things that
7, 8 years now.
20, 21, 22-year-old newbie might do. He shouldn't be doing this now. He should be, he knows the tracks, he knows the car. He should be locked in on this now. And he just, like I say, we say it week after week. Every week, I just feel like, yeah, not quite.
I mean, if this was Kimi Antonelli doing what Lando Norris is doing, you're saying fine. Yeah, he's 18, first season. This is what you expect.
He was technically a kid. You'd expect it for at least.
Lando Norris is basically, when you look at it now, a seasoned veteran in Formula One.
When you start looking down the grid, he's on the upper echelons. I mean, he's not quite in the Hamiltons or Alonso's age bracket, who are older than the sport itself, but he's in the upper echelons of the more experienced group, isn't he?
Yeah, but I mean, like you say, Alonso has actually been on the grid half of that man's life. Half of his life has been spent.
Came out yesterday, yeah. And he's driving around with a bad back as well. I mean, I'm sat here with a bad back, and it's excruciating to even talk. I'd never mind drive at 200 miles an hour. I drove my car down the road to the shop. I was like, well, that's as far as I can drive. He's laughing. He's going to do a couple 100 miles later at 160 mile an hour average speed. It's ridiculous.
With not much suspension, traveling quite a firm ride.
Yeah, I saw them go over the curbs. It's one of the corners they come out of the curbs, and I thought, wow, even with a bad back, that's horrific. So yeah, he's doing well. He's in good shape. I'll give him that.
And he's 44 years old. It's just ridiculous.
Mental. Yeah, 4 years older than me, and he's way, way fitter.
But he's weird, let's be honest, because we've sat here and said it, and Sky Sports were talking about yesterday or Friday, Anthony Davidson saying Lewis Hamilton's age is now a factor. Well, somebody explain to me Fernando Alonso then, because I don't get it.
No, I'm not so sure that Lewis Hamilton's age is the factor. I think he's just lost that edge that he had, and like with people at the top, with all due respect to Fernando Alonso, he's not been at the top all his career, has he? He's
spent most of it not, actually.
Two titles?
2005, 2006.
Which is still, unbelievable. But if you think he's been driving for 22 years to have only won 2 titles, he's obviously spent a period of time nowhere near the top. Lewis Hamilton's almost been at the top for his entire career. And as soon as you're that 5% off, you kind of I don't know if you just lose the ability to accept that you're not quite there. Whereas Fernando Alonso can have bad weekends and bad months, and he just seems to come back because he's so used to being in that position. Lewis Hamilton's so used to just being at the front, isn't he? And I
Yeah.
think as soon as that Mercedes started to go downhill 2 years ago, he's never been the same driver because he almost needs that pull to be the main man in the sport. That's his thing, and he isn't anymore. And there's not only one person above him now. There's probably half a dozen drivers better than him. If I think if you put him in the McLaren, I still think he'd do the job. I still think he'd be fine for titles. I think he's got the ability, but he needs that sort of that pull of the title fight to bring the best out of him. And I just think it's killing him now.
Yeah, I mean, I
shit.
suppose we saw in China this year where he got a car that was decent for one morning, and he was back. He won the sprint race. He looked in control. That spark was there. But like, as soon as it's a bit of a struggle to get it out the car,
is at 10%. He's not got that ability to be just off the top. He's either got to be at the top or he may as well. I mean, his comments yesterday were reminiscent of something Lando Norris would say. I mean, it was like the most depressing interview possible. I mean, to replace me and all this lot, it's like, whoa. But yeah, I think, like I said, I think if you stuck him in a really good car, I think his ability's still there. I think because I think he thinks he could do it, and he thinks he's back at the top. You put him in this title fight now, I think he's as good as anyone, and he'd be there. But you give him a bad time or a bad period of time, and I just don't think he's got that desire to pull through it and just get on with it. He gets down on himself too much, and it's just ruining
and I
him.
think because he's been at the top for 17 years, no, 15 years if we take away the last 2 years, I suppose it would be hard when you're so used to fighting for everything
Yeah.
to then accept that you're not.
Well, that's why they
If I
try
was
and
him,
tell
I'd
you
have
to
probably gave
you
up.
go out at the top, don't you? Fergie retired after his winning that title, and it was one of his best titles because the team was rubbish. But he knew that he'd won a title there with his ability as a manager, because the team across the board was bang average, and he knew if I do another season, we're not going to win a title. We're probably not even going to be in top four. Do I want to go out like that, or do I go out now at the top? And I think there's a time into it for a lot of people going out. You look at Tyson Fury. Why didn't Tyson Fury retire 2 fights ago? As one of the best heavyweights around, and now he's taking these fights and just getting beat up in it now. And
Yeah.
steadily, is still a great fight, but he's steadily diminishing, isn't it? Anthony Joshua the same. There was a time for Anthony Joshua to hang his gloves up, lost to some fat guy in Riyadh, and now he's just getting beat up by young boys in the street, and anyone can beat him. You just walk in the ring and punch him, and he falls over. There's a time for these people to go out, and I think the best go out at the top. The best realise they've done everything, get out, and your legacy is there. And maybe Hamilton, even after 2021, and I know it'd have been difficult for him after 21, after what they did to him, but maybe he should have said, you know what, I'll go out now and just call it and hang my
I
boots up.
tend to agree. I think 20, without going over that story all over again, I think 21's broken him mentally a little bit. I think psychologically it's done
And
something
it probably
to him.
did, because like I said to you, I can't even watch Drive to Survive anymore, and it wouldn't involve me in any shape or form. I can't watch the program because it brings something back. I just think how can you cheat somebody like that? So how he feels about it must be another level.
The 2021 season of Drive to Survive, well, it came out obviously in March 2022. I watched every episode up to the final one because I've refused to watch it, and I've never watched it. I've never watched anything about that race ever again, and I never will because I can't.
I've never watched another episode, and I was a avid watcher of Drive to Survive. I didn't watch that season, and I've never watched an episode since.
But yeah, without revisiting that whole mess, I think he would have been right to walk away then. He would have walked away, kind of taking the moral high ground.
Well,
He
it walked away as the uncrowned champion, wouldn't he? Because he
Yeah.
was the champion. He won it. He did everything he needed to do, and it was handed to him by some morons in an office somewhere. So yeah, I think after that, I suppose hindsight's a great thing, isn't it? He didn't know how bad the car was going to be. He probably thought he could come back next year and put these things right. Maybe the year after, when things weren't going well to just say, you know what, I'm going to hang up my boots. I've gave it another go. It's not there. It's just dragging on a little bit for him now.
But I think it became a snowball effect. So once he decided he was going on into 22, I think because it was a bad car, he was like, well, I've got to keep going now, so I've got to wait for a good car. So then we went into 23 with the same issue. Then we went into 24, but all of a sudden I've signed for Ferrari, who will make a good car, but we're not quite sure if it'll be now or in 700 years, or if it'll just be this weekend. Because
not even the weekend, just the one lap. It was shit for 3 days, but one lap, it's been fantastic.
It was really good.
I mean, can you explain the lap?
I mean,
it tells you something when the driver can't even explain to you how he got it on pole. He's got no idea, has he? I mean, he was more stunned than me. I mean, well, it's deleted for track limits because he must have cut 4 corners to be there. And he got to the interview at the end and he was like, can you win tomorrow? He's like, well, I can't say no. Technically, no, because my car's shit. But somehow, I'm on pole position. And it was like,
but there's a within the kind of excitement of Leclerc getting pole, there's been a big bit of context lost, I think, in a lot of it. McLaren's were 6 and 7/10 slower than Q2 in Q3.
But
that's why he's on pole.
Temperatures, but is that not going to play into effect today? Because it looks about as fucking cold as Alaska out there. It looks horrible.
Well, F2 race has just been. It did get sunny by the end of that. It won't be particularly hot. It were. I mean, we were Friday morning. They were sort of talking 50 degrees track temperature this morning.
Yeah, 52 degrees.
It was 22 degrees track temperature. F3 was farcical nonsense. Lots of people went backwards and sideways, and
lots of donutting going on. Yeah, so the temperature could play into his hands today, couldn't it? Because it doesn't look particularly warm or dry.
Yeah, which could bring Mercedes back into it. We've got no idea what Aston Martin is. I mean, that could go backwards instantly. It could be awful as a race car, or it could be brilliant and we have a Aston Martin. I have no idea what.
I mean, the most likely scenario for Aston Martin is they both get disqualified because they put a jet engine in it instead of a whatever engine they should have. Because that's just ridiculous, isn't it? I mean, other than Leclerc putting it on pole when he was nowhere near pole, how have them two gone from? Were they not last and next to last weekend?
I'm pretty sure they were.
And they're now third and fourth,
or fourth and fifth. No, fifth and sixth.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? I mean, how can you have a car?
Obviously,
you can't drive in a straight line because Spas are very.
Well, they do have quite a draggy car, so they do struggle with high speed tracks. Hungary isn't particularly high speed; it's a lot more corners, like you say, so that's helping them. But when you look at the grid, I mean, we were a 10th and a half covering the top six, I think.
Yeah, 6, I think. Yeah.
And the closest top 10 in history, I believe, from what I've read this morning. So it's very confusing. I mean, Bortoletto is 7th.
I mean, fair dues to him. He's
where did
driver,
that come from?
He's some lad, him. He can drive. Because that car with a bag of screws, I mean, he is some driver for a kid to come into a car that's rubbish and have started to perform like that. I know the car's improved since the time they come on, but he's a kid, isn't he? He's like,
it's insane. I mean, he's out-qualified Max Verstappen, which is just mind-blowing in itself. I mean, we've got 2 Aston Martins and a tractor, skip, whatever that green Sauber thing is meant to be. He's also ahead of him. He could be in for a long day. A very, very long day. I mean, starting 8. It's not easy to overtake.
It doesn't look quick around the corner, so you kind of think. I mean, the only thing he can hope for is some changing conditions, because obviously he's a better driver than most of them in front of him, and will probably drive the conditions better. But failing that,
it's looking a pretty grim day for him.
I mean, Christian Horner sat at home laughing his head off. They've sacked him and been shit ever since.
Yeah, it's not gone well, but obviously still kind of his fault, I suppose, because it was his car previously.
New manager bound. Well, we're doing all right when he was there. They were finishing 3rd. New manager bounce has not happened, has it?
It's quite funny
Get
because one of the
Mourinho in.
people I talked to is quite a big Max Verstappen fan, and I arrived back in the country to see Max Verstappen 8th, and I did take
He's a Max
quite a lot
Verstappen
of
fan.
pleasure
Oh
in
dear.
being smug yesterday. And if this afternoon goes as it looks as it may do, I'll be very, very smug again.
Yeah.
Because even
so
if
you should
Leclerc
be.
wins, I'm happy at that. If Oscar wins, I'm happy. Russell even. Alonso wins would be fantastic. As long as Max is somewhere about 4 hours behind, I don't really care.
A lap behind the leader would be lovely.
Yes, a lap behind the leader that is Fernando Alonso, followed by Lance Stroll, would be absolutely
Imagine getting
brilliant.
lapped by Lance Stroll.
That would make my Sunday.
I mean, it's like embarrassing of getting overtaken by him, but to be lapped by him would be, career ending, I would say.
Had a good holiday. I came back to watch Barnsley win 3-1 in the opening game of the season. I've seen Max Verstappen qualify 8th, and if I see Lance Stroll lap him,
So
I think I'm
did
done.
the football season not creep up on us a little bit? I
Little
only
bit.
found out that it started Saturday morning when I saw that Luton had played, and then a friend of mine told me Barnsley were playing tonight. And I was like, "Is this the start of the? This is the championship hasn't started, has it? Is that
No,
start
that's next week.
Didn't they all start on one weekend at one point? Is that? Or has
I
this always been?
won't lie. I was expecting it all to start next weekend.
Well, I would. Yeah. I mean, I don't particularly look at the championship or the EFL fixtures, but I thought the championship and the EFL would all start together.
Have a season like you did last year, and you might want to start looking at the EFL fixtures.
Well, we could be as fixed. We could have started the season next year. Then you get relegated by 2 leagues at once. Although if we fail financial fair play and get relegated, we will do, won't we? We'll be in League 2.
So yeah, it's been a good weekend so far. Sport is slowly returning to the world.
Well, yes, this is good. There was an NFL practice game, we'll call it, on Friday. Hall of Fame. I've never heard of the Hall of Fame game in all the time I've watched NFL. It was a new one on me, but it was NFL. It was something there. Nobody really played, but there was teams out on the pitch. They
Can't currently watch it in the UK because nobody's agreed TV rights, apparently.
I mean, they want to hurry up. I mean, I know they've got a month to the season starts, but you kind of want to, get that in place, I suppose, don't you? Before
pre-season starts soon, 3 or 4 weeks, I believe it is, 2 or 3 weeks. So we kind of need to
pre-season
be able
starts
to
on Friday. So pre-season starts on this coming Thursday or Friday, and the season starts in just under 4 weeks now.
Yep, and currently there's no agreement in place between the NFL and Sky, and it may be going to DAZN, which means there's another subscription for the world of sporting nonsense.
It's weird then, because I watch it on the Zone here. It's like they actually already got it, haven't they? They've just not got
but not
it
in
for
the UK. Sky
region,
got it in the UK.
So the NFL is on its way back. Football is fading in weekly, it would seem.
Yeah, so Championship next week, Premier League week after? Oh, no, there's a Community Shield.
10th? No, Charity Shield's this weekend, the 10th. So it's a week today. Sorry, not this weekend. A week today, Charity Shield, which will be Palace, Liverpool.
Well, that's a weird thing. That's just a weird sentence in general.
League winners and FA Cup winners, isn't it? So that's Liverpool, Palace. And then the season starts the weekend. I think Man United are Monday Night Football against Arsenal, I think.
First game is Liverpool-Bournemouth, Friday the 15th at 8 p.m. So that's about 4 a.m. for you. So you're not seeing that, let's be honest.
Oh, nice. It's a Friday night game.
Yes.
Why do we start the Premier League on a Friday? Why can't we start at 3 o'clock on a Saturday?
Because this is the new thing with Sky, isn't it? They like to air a game. So for the last, I think, 3 seasons now, there's been a Friday night game, been the opening game of the season.
We were opening game against Leicester one season on Friday night.
And I believe Brentford played Arsenal one season, their first season in the Premier League, because they beat them.
Yes, I think I do remember that. Yeah, so we start a week on Friday, don't we?
A week on Friday, everything comes back to life, and we can have football to complain about for another 9 months, having not had it to complain about for 4 months.
I mean,
3 months, whatever the hell it's been.
There's been a fair few transfers gone on, hasn't there? Although I've just seen that. Oh, there's a game on now, actually.
Yes, Bolton are playing in League One.
Oh, I was talking about Tottenham, Newcastle, the friendly. I don't look at League One, but that may also be on. Yeah,
it is.
If that's an actual thing. there's been quite a few transfers going on, I suppose, hasn't there? City, can you explain? Oh, I've got any thoughts on this. City have signed Trafford back.
Yeah, it's very weird. I don't get that. Well, I do get
Where
it.
does? Well, I get it from a City point of view because they got a cheap deal on him. What's his thoughts? What's he thinking he's going to do with his career? Is he
He's
going to
looking
play?
at it and he thought, I'm going to be the new Scott Carson. That's all
Well,
it is.
that's it. I mean, how many times have we sat here since? Well, I think Chelsea started this phenomenon, didn't they? Of buying people that they were in careers. There was Sean Wright Phillips. There was the ginger guy in midfield. I can never remember his name, but they bought a
Sidwell.
dozen. Sidwell. They bought a dozen English players and ruined them because they weren't actually going to play, but they were part of what they did in the time. They were just splashing cash, and then City did it to quite a few. I don't understand why you'd go there. I mean, he was the Burnley keeper, wasn't he?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And they win the Premier League. I know he's going to be quite busy next season, but I just don't understand going to City to sit on the. I mean, City have already got a sub goalkeeper, aren't they? That
Ortega, is it?
yeah. So is he number 2 now? Is he number 3?
It'd be number 3. He's the new
I mean,
Scott
he'll be on
Carson.
the bench because obviously the new phenomenon is to have 4 goalkeepers in your match day squad. Just in case they all get injured. But I don't understand when he's going to play.
He's not, I don't think.
But sure, that's horrendous. I mean, a very, very good young goalkeeper, and I don't blame him
how he gets
backing himself. Back yourself. I get that. But Edison's second best goalkeeper in the world to Alisson.
Yeah.
Trafford's nowhere near that level yet.
No.
With all due respect to him, and he may get there. Is he gonna? I just don't understand what he's gonna do over the next 2 or 3 seasons while Edison's still there, unless they're planning on moving Edison on, which we don't know about. But
Ortega, unless Ortega's left.
But even to go from being technically a Premier League number 1 to being a Premier League number 2. I mean, you could understand it next season if Burnley got relegated and you think, well, I want to stay in the Premier League, but I don't understand the move.
So, okay then. So let's there is a bit more context to it, I suppose. Ortega's 32. I know that's not old in modern football, but it's not young. Edison's 31. So are they getting him in there and going to blood him in there thinking he will be the future number 1? Do they see him as the future number 1 in 2 or 3 years' time?
I'd believe that if it wasn't City.
Because Ortega's probably only got a couple of years left before they're going to move him on.
City
18 months.
Doing that with their goalkeeper. Well, Ortega's not the answer, is he? I mean, but Edison's going to be there for 2 or 3 years. I don't think Trafford's got 2 or 3 years where he can waste away. He's not 17, 18.
He's only 22. He's got time.
But at 25, having not played for 3 years, your stock's gone, hasn't it? As a goalkeeper, you're just a journeyman. Then he needs to be playing every week.
He does, but because he's at Man City, he doesn't need stock. He's not going to be looking for another move. He's at the place where he can then become something if they see that that's what he is. I can't see why they would spend 30 million, 40 million on him for a 22-year-old goalkeeper that you've got no plans for.
Well, I can't.
Scott Carson they took for free and just gave him lots of money to sit in a crowd.
Yeah, and he's been there for 25 years and played 3 games and got 400 trophies, but
and 400 million quid.
It's like Tom Heaton at United. He played the other day, and it's like he's there almost as like a senior figure in the team, and he just makes the numbers up because he's English. I just don't think that's a good move for a young goalkeeper to not be playing week in, week out. He wants to be starting this season, first choice in a team. Even if he'd have left Burnley and gone another rung up, maybe he'd gone to West Ham or, I don't know, someone. There's got to be people out. I mean, we need a goalkeeper. I'm going to come to United and played every week. I know he'd have been picking the ball out of the net a lot, but he's been playing at a big club where he's recognised and shouldn't get relegated. It's kind of, I don't know. It's almost a backwards step going upwards. For his career, I don't think it's good. And he's English.
I do like the move that one goalkeeper's made. Aaron Ramsdale's gone to Newcastle. I think that's a very good move for both, which I think we predicted a while ago, or we said he should have looked at going to Newcastle when he went to Southampton.
When he went to Southampton, which at the time was a car crash move going to Southampton, because I just didn't. Once again, they were going down to the Championship straight away. So I don't know why he went there. It was but he's managed to get out for now. And if Southampton come back up, he'll probably end up back at Southampton after his loan's finished, won't he? But yeah, Trafford's a weird one. Not that it's got anything to do with me, but I don't particularly think it's a good one for him. I don't think he's I don't think he's doing a great deal for his career there.
Speaking of Southampton, the former Southampton manager, Russell Martin, obviously gone to Rangers. He's very angry already. Basically
he's
said
falling out with everybody already. I mean, I take it that's the start of the Scottish season.
Yes, so they played Motherwell last night, and drew 1-1.
I have a lot of Scottish friends over here, but I can't understand the fucking word they say, so I ain't got a clue when the season starts. I just have to nod a lot because I don't understand them. So I'm guessing that's the start of the season.
Yes.
And they've drawn already.
Yes, and he basically said all the players have got bad egos and don't try, and they're not good enough. One game, well done.
Oh, is that what he said? Wow.
After one
Throw
game.
him under the bus?
Yep.
Jesus.
He said, I'd accept if it was a tactical issue, but it wasn't. It was just all the players.
Oh, so totally dissolved himself of any responsibility. Threw every player under the bus. Well, that's a good way to get them all on board. I mean, they'll be well up for running for him next. I mean, talk about losing the dressing room, which is the biggest load of shit I've ever heard. But I mean, that is there. He's on the money. He's lost.
He's
the
not
dressing
lost
room
it. He's thrown 3 grenades.
Set fire to it. He's just put a bulldozer through it. Fucking hell.
If you were 10 games in, fine. But one game? I mean, literally.
It's the sort of thing you need to say to the players a few times before you say it to the press, just to see if you can get. I understand him going into the dressing room and saying, "You're a bunch of cowards. You've let me down. And only you're running." That's fine to them, but to go out and say it to the press first on week 1. I mean, training's going to be frosty tomorrow, isn't it? In the middle of summer. I mean, he's going to. I mean, when he goes to his car at end of training tomorrow, there'll be 4 flat tires and windscreen wipers have been ripped off. I mean, what has he done that for? What do these people? I know, I understand they get emotional, but they just don't think, do they?
No.
Can you imagine being a manager at a store and on day 1 after the store's closed because the profits are down, you went and said that to the local press about, local Asda? Fucking hell, there'd be uproar tomorrow. Shop would be on fire, wouldn't it? There'd be no staffing.
I mean, we were never impressed with this kind of attitude at Southampton, though, and then he's gone to Rangers, and
because his ego too. We've just said it there, haven't we? Southampton were going down because the managers they had the ego that this is how we play football. That's it. And it was a bit like the Burnley manager that left, that managed to get relegated and then go to Bayern Munich, Vincent Kompany. Same again. It was like, I mean, who did I watch the other day playing out from the back? You'd have loved it. Someone playing out from the back. Some friendly the other day.
Yeah, I've seen it 3 times already. Liverpool conceded a goal the other day doing it.
Liverpool were doing it against AC Milan. I think it was Bournemouth were doing it against Man United the other day quite badly. It was quite telegraphed as well. It was almost like United knew they were going to do it, so United sat in a little bit, and then as they went to kick it, just moved forward, and he just passed it to them. But yeah, there's a lot of this sort of managers are very stubborn at the moment, aren't they? And
I mean, I was hoping with how everybody had kind of kicked off about it last season and this playing out from the back and the amount of goals it was conceding, I'd got renewed hope that coming into this season that wasn't going to happen. That hope didn't last very long. I watched Preston Liverpool and Preston did it. And literally, I wanted to break my TV.
Well, so it was straight away, I didn't watch the Preston game. I did see some of the highlights. The first thing I would say about Preston Liverpool is Preston aren't good enough to play out from the back against Liverpool.
Exactly.
And I don't even know how good Preston are. They could be very good in their league, but they're not good enough to play out back against Liverpool. Very few teams in the world are good enough to play out against Liverpool because this is what Liverpool do. So if you're Preston, the first thing you tell your team to do is just get that little ball as far away from your net as often as possible. And we'll worry about what we do then if we get it at the other end. Yeah. The chances are we're not going to have the ball for very long. And the last thing we want is to have 90% possession on the edge of his own box. Because that's not good.
Nope. So and they conceded a goal doing it.
As far as you can. What were it on FIFA? Old B down or something. And whack it as far up pitch as you can. And we'll see what happens from there. He's mental.
Yes, so my hope that things were going to change lasted all of less than half an hour into one game of a
Well,
friendly.
because of what you said, alt managers are now doubling down and they're going to double play out front back. So we're going to have the goalkeeper's not going to take the goal kick. The defender's going to pass it from one edge of the box to the other edge of the box. Who's then going to pass it to the goalkeeper. We're doubling down. We're going to have 3 passes before we start playing.
I like literally my heart sank a little bit. I thought we've got another season of this, and I'm going to spend every Sunday coming onto a podcast saying the same sentence of stop playing out from the back because you can't do it and it doesn't
Against
work.
good side. You know, if Preston are playing Clyde FC next weekend, then yeah, go and have a go because you're better than them.
How is that ever going to be a thing?
I mean, Man United played a hybrid friendly, so it could happen. We played Hong Kong, which I don't know if that's a country or a city, if I'm honest.
Both.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Well, that's why it's a hybrid friendly. So, you know, then do it. But you don't do it against Liverpool, do you?
No.
You know, I wouldn't advise any team doing it against Liverpool, even Real Madrid, because you're playing to Liverpool's strengths. Don't do it if you're Preston, especially not if you're Preston. I wouldn't advise Preston doing it any time of the season.
No. But then Liverpool did it against AC Milan.
The quality of players to do it, but definitely don't do it against Liverpool.
But Liverpool did it against AC Milan, and they did exactly the same, and they conceded a goal. So just everybody stopped doing it because it doesn't work.
Yeah, but you can forgive Liverpool a bit because they're the best team in the league, and it has worked for them at a certain level. I can't think that, you know, if you're Southampton, when did it work for you? You played 38 Premier League games, a couple of cup games, and you lost them all nearly. So it didn't work, did it? It's pretty certain. You know, the analysis is there that it didn't work. We've got a big enough pool of evidence to say it's not working. Stop it and kick it. Just kick it as far away from your own net as you can. And the chances are they won't score. And I think it was Sean Dyche that said it. He says, I've never seen a goal scored from the opposition's box into that box. He says, because it doesn't happen. I think there were one, a Tottenham goalkeeper once. If you kick it into their box for the next few seconds, they're not going to score. So we're mission accomplished, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're now not 1-0 down. We might even get to 1-0 up because it's in their box.
Exactly.
It just seems such a simple idea.
Yeah, and we don't do it. We've overcomplicated it. We've turned it. We've got the double pivot midfield with inverted wingers and fullbacks, and we've got to play out from the back. And I
forgot about all this. Yeah, we have, haven't we? Everyone's inverted. I forgot. See, it's been so long since I watched football. I went through that motion again the other day when we played Bournemouth of actually being excited about the new season. And then I looked at our fixtures and I thought, I don't know why I'm being excited because we'll be in bottom 3 by end of first month. But I've got that buzz again. It's like Christmas as a 6-year-old.
Exactly the same thing. So the week before I went on holiday, Liverpool played Preston. It was only televised because of the horrific circumstances around why it was televised. But I got the buzz back of football. And then Preston played 3 passes along their own 18-yard box. And I'm like, no.
I kind of sat after the game a little bit excited and then thought, should I be? Is this a false dawn?
It's definitely a false dawn.
Because it's good to be back. It's good to have football back. I mean, it's kind of like NFL. I'm excited for NFL to come back, but I can't imagine Miami Dolphins are going to be any better than Man United. So what's the point?
Well, no, because your quarterback can't throw a ball, and your wide receiver will probably fall over and pull a hamstring, and
pulled back police all the time.
You'll be fighting for 3 weeks, and then all of a sudden it'll just be give up. We'll go on the beach because season's over again.
To make that worse, Perth Glory are my local team now. Lost 9-0 to AC Milan last weekend.
Aren't you in the middle of your season?
Sorry?
Aren't you in the middle of your season? Or
no, our season's the same as. No, it's backwards here. We're upside down, remember?
Oh, you're inverted.
It's an inverted season. Our season runs the same as the Premier League season. We run through the summer. So we play, which is the way the Premier League should be done. Let's be honest, right?
Yeah.
The Premier League should be played in the summer month. Yeah, so we don't have being called off for waterlogged pitches and frozen pitches and then sit at home while the sun's out thinking, oh, this is great weather for playing football. Fantastic. You know, why don't we play in the summer? But it's a bit the wrong way here because it's like 42 degrees at some point and it's like too hot to play. So they've kind of got the right idea at the wrong sort of continents. It's it's the other way around. But yeah, they lost 9-0 to AC Milan. So I mean, they're finishing bottom again. So that's the end of that one. So I mean, it's just a race to see who finishes less shit for my teams. I think
between Perth, Man
which
United,
one
and
of the
Miami.
teams is just going to be less shit than the other two. Yeah.
Well, I only have kind of two. Barnsley are going to be terrible. Well, no, Barnsley will get to Christmas.
3-1. Yeah.
We'll get to Christmas and things will be going okay. We'll then get out of Christmas and we'll not win a game till April, and we'll be 12th, and that'll be the end of that.
So it's League One, Barnsley, isn't it?
Yes.
You're not favourites, no?
No. We're
No.
struggling to be a mid-table side these days. The club's run badly. There's no investment. We've signed 5 players and four or 5 players for a grand total of £0, and we've got rid of 8 players, I think, for a grand total of £0. So the bank balance is still 0 after all of those transactions. It's going
But the
very
good
well.
news as a Barnsley fan, you are not the most badly run team in Yorkshire. That falls to Sheffield Wednesday, which is absolutely fucked by the sounds of it.
I mean, has anybody been paid at that club since I've been out of the country?
But Barry Bannon's just signed a new contract. I don't know if he's aware that no one's been paid, and that's probably the worst thing he's ever signed.
That's not worth the paper it's written on.
No, but the manager's left, hasn't he? Danny Roll? He was called Danny Roll?
Yes.
He's gone, and some of the guys come in who I don't even know if he's a football guy or if he's just Tesco's store manager. All the players have left by mutual consent because they've not been getting paid for long enough so they can leave.
Nice.
So yeah, as badly as Barnsley might be run, at least you're not owned by Chansiri, I think his name, isn't it? It is Chansiri.
Yes, it was very arrogant, very self-assured, very cocky, and basically said in an interview a few months ago that if people don't like it, just don't come. I'm not bothered, which was really helpful.
I mean, I must admit, it's a very sad thing because Wednesday have got a hell of a following. I mean,
and they have a heritage in this country.
Wednesday go away, and I know a lot of lads who go, but when you see the Wednesday away end at any game, it is packed. For a team that, let's be honest, are pretty shit, aren't they?
They are these days.
They're not going because of the quality of the team, are they? They're going because they love the sport and they love the club they follow, which is what football's all about. Let's be honest. That's the whole lifeblood of football. So to have them run this badly is shit, to be fair. It's ruining, a very sort of prominent team in the Football League pyramid, and it's been ruined by an absolute moron from some Middle Eastern country who's got no idea what he's doing. And again, they should just I don't know, he can't take the club off him because he owns it, but something's got to be done.
I mean, this goes down a whole other rabbit warren.
Wednesday. 100 million. I mean, it's worth about as much as, well, I've probably got something in my fridge worth more than Sheffield Wednesday currently. How is anyone going to pay 100 million for Sheffield Wednesday?
The guy's just he's
deluded,
insane.
And it's like I say, it's tragic, but he is totally deluded.
It's tragic, but we'd end up down a whole other rabbit warren of conversations of foreign ownership and fit and proper persons test that I don't actually believe ever existed.
They should all be banished, all of them.
But that's a far deeper conversation for another day that would end up probably me in prison based on British rules of free speech, and you cancelled, so we'll not go there. I've only just come back to the country, and I don't fancy being in prison anytime
we want
soon.
To be here next week when the season starts.
Yes, I would like to see the start of the Premier League season. So I think, even though we've been off for 4 weeks, we've pretty much covered everything there is for this week's episode. We are just under 2 hours away from the start of the Hungarian Grand Prix. Before we go, give me your top 3.
As it is.
So you think Leclerc wins, Oscar second, Norris third. I've totally
stopped backing Lando because for 2 reasons. One, he lets me down, and 2, if I stop backing him, he might actually do something. So I'm going for it as it is.
So Oscar wins. He passes Leclerc into turn 1, lap 1. Leclerc is second. And I'm just going to go ridiculous because why not? Alonso third. Which means he'll now end up in
Alonso's
ahead.
on a bad day.
So there we go.
Norris had a bad day. Yeah, I mean,
He'll
I must admit,
do something stupid.
if Oscar doesn't win it, I will be very, very shocked. But I'm going as it is. 1, 2, 3. No one overtakes. Yeah. If it rains, God knows. Hulkenberg could win. So anything could happen, couldn't it? But if it stays dry, yeah, we'll go as it is.
So within 2 hours, we will see that we're both stupid and something ridiculous will happen.
Well,
And none of that.
2
will
hours. I'll be
actually
sat in bed, very tired, watching some light rainfall, wondering why we can't put wet tires on and go racing again. Texting you saying, "What the fuck's going on here?" But you know, it's all good fun.
But on that note, it is very good to be back. Thank you for anybody who's taken the time to listen to us ramble on again for another hour of your lives. And we will be back again, unless I go on holiday, next week for another episode. So until then, thank you all, and we will speak to you all again very, very soon.